Läuft das schon, oder?
Ja,
Die
jetzt.
ganze Zeit?
Nee, jetzt.
Unverschämt. Hier
Doch eben auch schon ein
ich werde
bisschen.
hier gebackt, oder was? Yeah, as I told to Theo about a week ago, I explained it to him. It's what we are doing at the Trio Healing Center in the 2000, from about 2000 to 2010. We are working on the liberation of the inner human being. And doing this work was very effective and efficient. This is a vast field to explain this. Because I was living there also at the Trio Healing Center, and there were schedules and many other things. After a while, after how many years, I felt like in a golden cage. So it dawned on me that I had to move, and according to my nature also to travel, to spread the message of what I teach, of what I do. So I went to Southeast Asia, and it just happened to be that I stayed about 4 years in southern China, and so worked in another way. It's like this in the healing. We work on the human being to free or help them, the people, to free themselves. Their inner structures, their inner, how to say, programs, patterns, thought patterns, belief patterns, so they are from inside getting freer and freer and freer, self-realization. So when people go this path, they encounter enormous pressures sometimes, hindrances, impediments, because their patterns, which they are changing, do not fit the old patterns anymore. So, and in addition, complementary to that, we have to also work on the liberation inside the being, the human being, inside society. So it came on my mind one day when I was in southern China that I create a new website, a worldwide project. So those people who are going deeper or further on this path, they can network each other. So we have to release within the human being. We are made like an energy field, like a torus, like there's energy flowing around us, around us, around us, and it is like a torus, like this, like that. So with this energy field we can work on ourselves and on others. But the whole earth is also an energy field. The universe is an energy field, like the Milky Ways, the galaxies. It's in big, so in small. It resembles. So we live in this society for more than 100 years and are depending, we are not free from creating our own energy, physical energy, not for our bodily system, for our physical system, but just for generating electricity. That is only one part of it. And it's the same game. Our body is governed in a way by an electromagnetic field which generates electricity itself. So is the Earth and the society. Our modern society runs on electricity, on electromagnetic fields. If you cut down computers, nothing goes anymore. They run on electricity. So what we need is to free ourselves from the energy grid, from the big companies who serve and sell us electricity and who don't want us to be free, because then they cannot sell us the electricity anymore. They cannot sell us the copper wires anymore, or the glass cables, or what else we have. So there is a big movement on the internet already from people all over the planet. Small laboratories just try to invent how to do that. Like the forefathers of that, the forethinkers were Nikola Tesla about a good 100 years ago. And what is his other name? The Austrian guy, I will tell you the name later, in the back of my brains, who worked also on water. And he was the first one who even created so-called Flugscheibe, discs, flying discs. In the 1930s or 40s, Hitler forced him to do this. So that we can create and assemble devices which can pull the energy out of the cosmic field, the same way that our bodies generate energy out of the cosmic field, because without this energy we'll be dead in a second if the electricity field is cut off. And it works the same way, but we have to find out how it works. The same how the wise people over thousands of years found out how our physical bodily energy fields work. So if we are not depending on these big companies to sell us electricity anymore, then we can really develop a free society. We don't have to buy anything from anybody anymore. We can even be self-sustained. We can live in autark groups, grow our own foods and everything, have our water supply. Water can even run up. People don't know that. There are technologies already hundreds of thousands of years ago that everybody will tell you water always runs down. It's not true. There are technologies where water can run up even without the electricity even. And so if we can do that, then we can do what we want. We can get away from this plain consumer society that we have to buy something to survive. And thinking further, thinking longer, we don't have to do anything anymore for our survival what we don't want to do. We can express ourselves truly. And if we can express ourselves truly, then there is no more pain and traumas, or there are no more pain and traumas generated in the human beings. Hard stuff. Difficult to comprehend. I think it's not, but for newbies, for people who are not familiar with these kind of topics, these issues, they might need a time to delve into it, to get this greater understanding how everything works together. Answered, understood, or too complicated? Yes or no?
Okay.
Okay. I know this is a field which most people never talk about, and so we have to, if somebody doesn't understand, you cannot even make him responsible or her responsible. We have to make sure that the one we talk to understand what we are talking about. Or there is no communication. That is a false communication. And that's the common thing in society. That's what I know from at least my 25 years experience in the healing field. I know this, that people in general, they don't communicate. They exchange information, but they don't really communicate. Because they always interpret something what you say, instead of to listening what you say. And that's where it goes wrong already. So I see that in the healing sessions, it's all the same. I tell them, just move this arm, they will move this arm, you know. Like, I have that all the time. Huh? You're smiling, you know it all, you have seen that all thousands of times when they come and sit there on the chair. Yeah, hey, do your legs like this? No, they do the other legs. Make the arm up, they make the arm down. I will pull you up, don't help me, I do like that, and they help me. They cannot let me do my job even, you know. Even they ask me for help, they cannot let me do my job. So, you know, people always say, or in yoga, it is said, in the yoga system, in the higher science, it is said that breath is life. It's true that without breath there is no life. But I add that without communication and breath, there is no light. Because that is one of the criteria for life. When there's no communication, there is no breath. Because the cells, they have to communicate. The cells, the organs, everything has to communicate. So we need breath, what is the life force, which brings in the life force, which is intelligent. And we need communication, but we need proper communication. Too much brain stuff? I don't want to fuck your brains. Don't show it this one. But you know, we have to talk clearly what things are about, and we have to think in systemic thinking, and not in ways. This is a thing, and you have this thing, you have this thing. It's always a system, it's always a dynamic force running, and if the dynamic stops, that's death. And nobody likes death, you know. Because they all think death is inevitable.